Now let's discuss the power of international organization, the definition and role of international organization. International organization is a recent concept that date from 20th century. The terminology is typically 20th century. Time is definitely imposed after the Second World War and before the term association of state was used instead. International organizations were born out of a need for cooperation. It is no secret that with social development, intermediacies are increasing. This is true in domestic society, but also in international society. This common problem that requires common action are first perceived in non-political areas. It is easier to agree on non-political areas than political areas. That is why the beginning of international organization was very modest, a very technical beginning. It is true that some thinkers had imagined, as Kant imagined, an international society with a League of Nations. In reality, it was not true. This is great door that international organization began to exist, but through the need to cooperate during the Industrial Revolution. On the other hand, drive commission and on the other administrative unions, river commission are corporate between state bordering a river that cross several territories. If each state administers a portion of the river in complete autonomy, overall result is often cacophonic and therefore everyone loses. It was relatively quickly concluded that a good way to administrator is to manage in a common way. The problem is not mentality political, but it's technical because it imposes itself with nature. Now, power plays an important role in formation of international organization or IOS include the formal institution established by nation state to promote collective action at the international governmental level. Power is commonly defined as the ability to authority to act, to accomplish a task, or to create something new. Those who wield power are typically seen as having the ability to influence or even control the behavior of others. The willingness of state to employ material or hard power to accomplish their goal, whether those goals primarily reflect the interests of the strongest state or the shared preference of many states, has long been subject or security by international relation.
Good afternoon, sir and classmate. Discuss and differentiate comprehensive the organs of the United Nations. The General Assembly, the Security Council, the Economic and Social Council, the Trusteeship Council, the International Court of Justice, and the UN Secretariat are the main bodies of the United Nations. When the United Nations was established in 1945, it was based on the UN character. First, General Assembly. The General Assembly is the United Nations' largest deliberative policy-making and representative body. The General Assembly is the only UN body with universal representation with all 193 UN member states included. Security Council. Under the UN character, the Security Council has primary responsibility for maintaining international peace and security. It consists of 15 members, 5 permanent and 10 non-permanent members. Each member is entitled to one vote. Economic and Social Council. The Economic and Social Council is the main body in charge of policy coordination, evaluation, consultation, and recommendation on economic, social, and environment issues, as well as the implementation of international negotiated deployment goals and Trusteeship Council. The UN Chapter 13 created the Trusteeship Council in 1945 to provide international oversight for 11 trust territories that had been put under the administration of 7 member states. and to ensure that appropriate measures were taken to prepare the terrorists for self-government and independence. International Court of Justice. The International Court of Justice is the United Nations' only judicial body. Its headquarters are in the Hague Peace Palace, or Netherlands. It is only one of the United Nations' six main organs that is not based in New York or United States of America. Secretariat. The Secretariat General, tens of thousands of international UN staff members make up the Secretariat, which carries out the UN day-to-day function as required by the General Assembly and the organization, the other principal bodies. That's all. Thank you.
State regionalism refers to three distinct elements: movements seeking territorial autonomy within unitary states. The organization of the central state on a regional basis for the delivery of its policies, including regional development policy and democratic decentralization and regional autonomy. Non-state regionalism as a stakeholder or power in a debate or conflict where oversight states and international organizations are the main and minor players respectively is referred to as non-state communities are those who are unincorporated within a state or act known to the state or country in which they exist. The difference between state regionalism and non-state regionalism, unlike old regionalism, which focus on relations between states, new regionalism include a wide range of state and non-state actors in a phase of world order transformation. As a result, globalization influenced modern regionalism, which in turn influenced globalization.
The establishment of the ASEAN region. The Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN, was established on 8th of August 1967 in Bangkok, Thailand, with the signing of the ASEAN Declaration in Bangkok Declaration by the founding fathers of ASEAN, namely Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, and Singapore and Thailand. Brunei Darussalam then joined on the 7th day of January 1984, Vietnam on the 28th day of July 1995, Laos, PDR, and Myanmar on the 23rd of July 1997, and the Cambodia on April 13, 1999, making up is today the 10 members of the states of the ASEAN. The aims and purposes of the ASEAN. As set out in the ASEAN Declaration, the aims and purposes of ASEAN are: number 1, to accelerate the economic growth, social progress, and cultural development in the region through joint endeavors in the spirit of equality partnership in order to strengthen the foundation for the prosperous and peaceful community of ASEAN Asian nation. Number 2, to promote regional peace and stability through abiding respectful and justice by the rule of law in the relationship among countries of the region and adherence to the principle of the United Nations Charter. Number 3, to promote active collaboration and mutual assistance on matters common interest in the economic, social, cultural, technical, scientific, and administrative fields. Number 4, to provide assistance to each other in the form of training and research facilities in educational, professional, technical, and administrative spheres. Okay, number 5, to collaborate more effectively for the greater utilization of the agriculture and industries, the expansion of their trade, including the studies of problems, international commodity trade, and the improvement of the transportation and communication facilities in the raising of the living standards of their peoples. Number 6, to promote South Asian studies. And number 7, to close the beneficial cooperation with existing international and regional organizations with similar aims and purpose and explore all avenues for even closer cooperation among themselves. And that's it. Good morning.